Alright guys, so last time I was saying that the turbo was going to be in the way, and I got the commercial or medium duty manifold, which pretty much puts the turbo coming out here. So I'm just going to pull this one off real quick and throw this one on there, and we'll see how much clearance that gives us. But just so you get an idea, that's where it sits now. Alright guys, so we put the commercial or whatever exhaust manifold, and as you can see, the turbo is now like way inside, and it should clear the AC stuff. But pretty much our transmission shifter is hitting on the tranny tunnel, so we're gonna have to cut that. But we were looking at it, and I mean the engine should clear the firewall. There should be enough room, so all we really need to worry about is the transmission tunnel. So we're probably gonna cut that out next, and then we'll go from there. Okay guys, so in the previous clip you saw the cab lowered and it was pretty much hitting in this area here, so we're just gonna cut like a square out to pretty much see if we just clear, because in the back the cab needs like, it sits like right there, so it needs like 4 inches more, which I mean that there is probably like 3 to 4 inches. So I'm assuming if it lowers 3 to 4 inches here, back here it should lower more. That's just what I'm assuming. So I'm just gonna cut a hole like the size, because this is the original shift boot from like a Dodge. So I'm just gonna cut a hole around this size, so then when I cut it, I could still seal it back up with the shift boot. So let me just mark it out, and then I'm gonna cut it. Alright, so there it is. I marked it out, the design of the cover thing, but I just rough cut it in there inside of the line, so I could recut it later, like the right precise, just so I can test fit it. So now I'm gonna lower the cab again and see where it sits. All right guys, so I'm not sure how much of it picked up earlier, but we finished running the fuel lines, pretty much feed and return on the driver's side frame rail, and then we also finished cutting out the cab and everything, and then we mounted we put a bracket or a mount here for the line, so they don't, because earlier they would probably vibrate and rub each other here, and they probably end up rubbing a hole. So now we got that there, so that, I mean, that should prevent any vibrations. And then all we got really left to do to be able to mount the cab like permanently is figure out which drain tube to run for the turbo. And then the feed line, the stock one still works. And then we pretty much ended up cutting the whole tranny tunnel out, because that's how much we needed to cut out to be able to fit this one in. And then this here needs to be probably pushed up some too. And that should be it. All right, so I'm still kind of cutting it up, the parts to make the trans tunnel, but here's the rough shape, and then I'm just using a tire that I have here to kind of give it the round shape. And then I still need to bend it some more, but once I get it more closer, I'll be able to fit it in there, and then I'll tack it and use kind of like just tack maybe one side and then put pressure on the other side to get it like to where it needs to be. All right, so I got the rough shape cut out of how it's going to be on there. I did try to do it with I went and bought like the cardboard paper to try and do a template, but with the paper being flimsy and stuff, it was kind of being a headache. So I just kind of got like a rough idea and then cut the shape out with this. So I'm gonna tack it in the middle, and then I'm gonna like work the bend over to this side to where I have it cut out, and then pretty much tack it to the floor and then do the same thing on that side. So that's pretty much how it's gonna look. So yeah, let me just tack those on there, and then I'll do another little video here in a bit. All right guys, so here it is, pretty much the completed product. I still need to trim out the backside here. I mean, it is welded in and everything. I just gotta trim it so it's flush, but I mean, to be honest, I'm probably just gonna leave it like that. But yeah, there it is. I mean, I'm not too super proud of it, but I welded it on the bottom side, and I just tacked it in on the top side, and then I'm just gonna put seam sealer, and then I still gotta paint it also. And then I'm also gonna end up not spraying, but putting like that work mat over it so you won't see it. So I wasn't really like too worried about it. But I mean, it clears the tranny. I cut the square out kind of the size of the Dodge one so I can try to fit the original Dodge boot on there, but we'll see. Yeah, then that's it for the tranny tunnel. So here's a video of the underside. There's where it's capped off on the back. I already sprayed it. I just sprayed the paint on there. As you can see, I mean, I just did it, like I said, not too proud of it, but it'll get the job done. Yeah, and pretty much I welded it. I put relief cuts, and then I bent it over, and then I welded it there, and then all around. On the sides, I didn't really put relief cuts because it's kind of, it already originally kind of goes up, so it was almost the perfect, what do you call it? Perfect angle. But yeah, there's pretty much all for the trans tunnel. Now onto the next. All right, guys. So I kind of lost or misplaced my wastegate, and also it didn't really fit. But we kind of like dancing with the devil around here, so we're just gonna like put pressure and just put a tack there and just call it good. Hopefully we don't blow the engine out, but I mean it should be fine, just because it should be fine. No, they actually do like a wastegate delete on these, so that's gonna be my version of a wastegate delete. Okay guys, so I just buttoned up a bunch of loose ends, I guess you could say. So I connected my fuel lines back there. You can't really probably see them, but they're connected. The power steering line, it looks like the original Dodge one bolted up to the GM steering gear. I'm just gonna, because this truck has the hydro boost, and I have to clean up all the original stuff off of the truck, but I'm gonna see what I have to do there. And then I think I showed it, but I welded the wastegate arm so I don't have to have a wastegate on it. Should be fine. A lot of people do like a wastegate delete on these with the stock turbo anyways. What else? Yeah, I think then fix my drain tube for the turbo. That's all done. And then I ended up, I think I posted it last time too, but this is like the commercial 12 valve manifold, just because it puts the turbo at a better, like with the other one it'd be like up here, kind of like almost, I think it was touching, or it was almost touching, at least with the mounts that I'm using. So with this one it located it out of the way. And then I pretty much set my cap down for the final time. I didn't bolt it down just in case I need to take it off, but it's all lined up and it has most of the bolts started there just to kind of hold it in position. So that'll probably be all for today's video. It's kind of a little bit short, but I mean, we made some progress. So probably next week I'm gonna be putting in the rear mounted tank. So yeah, thanks for watching.